Hello, students, have your seats. Today, in this session, we are going to discuss regarding one of the very important cell organelle of eukaryotic cells, that is nucleus. Nucleus is mostly found in all of the eukaryotic cells, and it is very prominent, conspicuous and largest cell organelle of eukaryotic cells. Firstly, here we would like to discuss where nucleus is found and where it is not found. Just I told you that in most of the eukaryotic cells, nuclei are present. But in the case of eukaryotic cells, there are certain exceptions. We will discuss regarding those exceptions. First exception is red blood cells of mammals. In the red blood cells RBC of the mammal, nuclei are absent. Similarly, in the case of plant, in sieve tube cells of phloem, as well as in tracheids and vessels of xylem tissues, nuclei are absent. Apart from these exceptions of the eukaryotic cell, as you know, all of the prokaryotic cells do not contain well-defined nucleus in their shell. In the case of prokaryotic cells, only certain genetic material, certain strain of DNA is found scattered in their cytoplasm. In that case, the genetic material which is found in their cell in the name of nucleus is called as nucleoid. Other name of nucleoid is incipient nucleus. Now we will discuss regarding history of discovery of nucleus. There was a scientist, namely Robert Brown, who in 1831 discovered nucleus in orchid plant cell. Here, one important information we should know, that nucleus is a very, very important cell organelle. It is called as director of cell of all the eukaryotic cells. Because nucleus control all the metabolic activities of eukaryotic cells. There was a scientist, Hammerling, who first time proclaimed nucleus as director of the cell. Actually, with his experiment on acetabularian alga, he found that nucleus of the cell control all the metabolic activities, all the biological, chemical activities of the cell. So he proclaimed nucleus as the director or master of the cell. Now we will discuss the shape, size and number of the nucleus Firstly, we will discuss size. Size of the nucleus varies from 5 mu to 30 mu. Now we will discuss regarding shape of the nucleus. Generally, nucleus is found in a spherical, oval, elongated in shape. But here one more important information regarding the shape of the nucleus we should know, because that is very much important on examination point of view, particularly in context of NEET. In the case of WBC, white blood corpuscles, white blood cell of mammal, nucleus is irregular in shape. Now we will discuss regarding number of nucleus. This word nucleus is in singular. It is in plural pronounced as nuclei. Just similar to variation in shape and size, there are also variation in context of number of nuclei found in various type of organisms. On the basis of number of nuclei found in cells of different organisms, the cells may be classified into three categories. They are mononucleate condition of the cell. Second is binucleate condition of the cell. Third is polynucleate condition of the cell. In first case, that is the mononucleate condition. In that case, a single cell has single nucleus. This is the normal case. Most of the eukaryotic cells normally contain a single nucleus. But there are certain variation, particularly in the case of lower plant, lower animals. Nuclei may be found in the cells more than one. In that case, the cells may be of two types. First is binucleate condition of the cell. Second is the polynucleate condition. In the case of binucleate condition of the cell, a single cell of the organism contains two nuclei. This case, just I told you, mostly found in lower plant and lower animal. Paramecium is the best example of binucleate condition. In the single cell body of paramecium, there is found two nuclei. One is bigger, that is called macronucleus, and another is smaller in size, that is called micronucleus. Now we will discuss the polynucleate condition of the cell. This type of condition is also found in lower group of plant and animal. In this case, a single cell contains more than two. That means number of nuclei. Actually, this polynucleate condition is formed by two ways, by two processes. First is called syncytium, second is sinusoids. In first case, that is the syncytium, number of adjoining cells fuse together and make a single compartment of cell. In that, their respective nuclei come together in that compartment. By this way, a single cell contains number of nuclei at a time. Now we will discuss regarding second process by which polynucleate condition is formed. That is the sinusoid. In this case, in a single cell of the organisms, the nucleus goes free nuclear division. The nucleus divides multiple times and there the cell division does not occur. By this way, that particular cell gets polynucleate condition. Now we will discuss regarding the structure of nucleus. Here you see I have drawn a diagram of the nucleus separately so that you student can understand the structure of the nucleus properly. Now here I would like to repeat one information to you. In the case of animal cell, normally nucleus is centrally placed, see here. But in the case of plant cell, normally nucleus is found at lateral position due to presence of number of large vacuoles in the cytoplasm of the plant cell. Now we will start regarding a structure. The nucleus mainly consists of four components. First is nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is also known by another name, that is karyotheca. Inner to the nuclear membrane, there is the second component of the nucleus, that is nucleoplasm. It is also called as karyoplasm. Third component is nucleolus. Fourth components are chromatin fibers. Now we will discuss one by one these components of the nucleus. The first component, nuclear membrane, it consists of two layers, outer and inner layers. In between the two layers of nuclear membrane or karyotheca, there is a space. That space is called as perinuclear space. This membrane is not continuous. there are number of pores found on the nuclear membrane. Those pores are called as nuclear pore. Nuclear pore consists of a plug type structure. Those are called as annulus. Now here you try to understand the structure of each the pore, nuclear pore. The nuclear pore plus annulus makes a complex structure. That structure is called as pore complex. All the pore complexes found on nuclear membrane plays very vital role. They make the nuclear membrane selective permeable. Apart from this information, here we should know the outer surface of nuclear membrane have number of small ribosomes. That means the outer surface of nuclear membrane is studded by minute granular ribosomes. Apart from presence of ribosomes on the outer surface of nuclear membrane, the outer surface of the nuclear membrane is also attached with the number of endoplasmic reticulum. Now we will discuss regarding nucleoplasm. Just I told you that nucleoplasm is also called as stereoplasm. The term nucleoplasm was first time given by a scientist, namely Strasburger. This nucleoplasm is transparent semi-liquid substance which contains number of DNA polymers, RNA polymers, protein and certain minerals like magnesium and calcium ions, and it also contains nucleus and number of thread-like structure. They are called chromatin. Now we will discuss the third component of the nucleus, that is nucleolus. See here, nucleolus is a spherical, circular, dark, dense body. It is membraneless. Actually, it is made up of protein and ribosomal RNA. This spherical, dense, dark, stained body found in the nucleoplasm of nucleus plays very important role in the synthesis of ribosomes. Now we will discuss regarding chromatin fibers. Just I told you that in the nucleoplasm there are number of thread-like, fiber-like structures. There is network of fiber-like structures. They are chromatin fibers. Here you should know these chromatin fibers are nothing but they are genetical material. At the time of cell division, they become dense and rod-shaped. In that case, they are called as chromosomes. The term chromosomes was first time given by a scientist, namely Waldeyer. Waldeyer in 1888 named those rod-shaped form of the chromatin fibers as chromosomes. The chromatin and chromosomes play a very vital role in transmission of genetic information, genetic characteristics, hereditary characteristics from one generation to other generation. By going through cell division, the chromosomes are made up of two substances, DNA and proteins. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acids consist of genetic information, genetical characteristics. A certain part, a segment of chromosome or DNA is called as genes. Genes are the genetical unit which are found on chromosomes or DNA. Whenever we will start genetics, we will discuss regarding the structure and functions of chromosomes as well as DNA. Now we will discuss regarding the various functions of nucleus. Just I told you that nucleus is the director of cell because it plays very important and vital role in controlling the metabolic activities. Again, I am repeating that information. Nucleus is the chief controller and the center of the control to control all the metabolic activities, all the biological activities of the cell. Second property is that as the nucleus controls all the metabolic activities of the cell, all the biological activities of the cell. So, the nucleus determines the development and future form of the cell. The third and most important function of nucleus is that the nucleus plays a very important role in the transmission of genetical characteristics from generation to generation by entering into cell division or by the process of cell reproduction. These are the very important functions of the nucleus. By this information, I am concluding my lecture. In next session, we will start other important terms of chapter. Thank you very much.